That's right. Alexa, stop. Hey, it worked. Welcome back. Virtual math. I told you last week, if we're going to do this, we're going to do it right. We're going to do it big. So I'm coming at you live from the man cave. This is the first day of officially working from home. But same deal, guys. If you're taking the time to do this completely optional work, I really appreciate that. That's awesome. So we're going to go over day 6 today from that Pitt County packet. If you haven't done day 6 yet, you know the drill. Pause it, go knock it out, come back and watch this, and hopefully see that you got all 10 right. Or if you missed some, hopefully we'll answer your questions that you might have. Before I go over that, a couple things I wanted to touch on. The first thing, there's nothing official yet, but if this is what we kind of start doing on a regular basis, if this becomes our virtual learning, I have set up a Google Classroom, and what I did was I emailed a link out to all the student email accounts, and I think I've already got 5 or 6 in each class who went ahead, clicked it, and joined. It was real simple, but if this is what we're going to start doing on a regular basis, I'm going to assign everything through Google Classroom. So I'm going to need everybody to maybe stop this video right now, go check your email, click that link. And then if you see there's people that have not joined yet and you have maybe been in contact with them over the past week, let them know, hey, you need to get into this Google Classroom because that's what we're going to be using a bunch. Secondly, I started putting all these videos on YouTube so you can get notifications of when these videos come out. I try to get them up there as early as possible, but you can subscribe and like get little notifications anytime a video is posted. I'll still probably post the link on class tag. And guys, again, if you know a classmate that's not watching these, share it out for me. Let them know that we're doing it. Or if you know somebody else in 4th grade in a different school, share it out. You need to challenge each other because any extra practice we can get is obviously a good thing. So you can kind of tell I'm trying to turn this thing into a talk show a little bit. So I'm going to bring on a guest every day, sometimes a student, sometimes a teacher. Sometimes it might just be somebody you have no idea who it is. I haven't really decided how I'm going to do it yet, but we do have our first guest today. Let me see if this is going to work. Lily, can you hear me and see me?
I can't see you.
You can't see me, but you can hear me?
No. Yes, I can see a picture of your family, and that's all.
You see a picture of my family. All right, let me do this. Do you see me? Right now.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, Lily, how are you?
Good. What about you?
I am wonderful. Thank you. So look, I got a few questions for you before we start doing some math, because I'm sure everybody's sick of hearing my voice. My first question for you would be, what is your favorite thing so far about being home from school for this past week?
Being with my mom and my family, having help on anything, getting to go to the bathroom whenever I need to.
Ooh, good choice.
Getting lots of food.
Very nice. The food thing I'm trying not to do, but that's awesome.
Yeah, my mom has limits.
Well, that's smart. What is your least favorite thing about being home?
Not having EOG Friday and not being able to see other people.
Yeah, the not seeing your classmate thing, I bet is tough. I'm still trying to figure out a way to do EOG Friday. It's going to take some time, but I'm going to try to figure that out. My last question would be, have you been doing anything special or different at home to try to stay organized?
We have a schedule. In the morning, we have to do it like a devotion. And then we have to have, like exercise stuff. And then we have to do schoolwork, snack, and STEM.
So you kind of got like a school schedule going.
Yeah.
Very nice. This was not a question that I had planned on asking. Are you getting along with your brother and sister?
No.
Okay, that's what I figured. All right. All right, so Lily, here's what I'm going to have you do. Do you have the packet in front of you?
Yes.
All right, I want you to choose any 3 questions you want, and I'm going to have you solve them. And what I'm going to do is I'll pull the whiteboard up, and kind of as you talk, I'm just going to write exactly what you're saying. So do you have a question in mind?
1.
All right, you got 1. What else?
3.
3.
And 5.
5. All right, so we're going right down the left side. All right, so let me get the whiteboard pulled up. I'm going to go ahead and read number 1. It said, Alex had 16 problems for homework. He has completed 9 of them. What fraction does he still need to complete? So Lily, you take it away and you tell me anything you need me to do.
So he has completed 9 of them. We need to figure out what he still has to complete. He has 7 left to complete. The denominator is still 16 because he has 16 problems in all. 7/16 is A.
Very good. So on that one, she kind of did what I would have rather you have done, because really I like when people draw pictures for these, but when you have numbers like 16 and higher, it's kind of a lot of work to draw something and split it into 16. So I like that she read the question, she figured out what was left, she knew that would be her numerator, and then that her denominator would not change. Lily, I'm putting you on the spot here, but if you looked at your answer choices, what do you think would be an answer choice that I really, really would not want to see?
B.
B would be if somebody didn't what?
Read.
If they didn't read. Good. So just because you see 2 numbers doesn't mean you're going to use them, but you did that one great. All right, so I'm going to clear that out. Everybody, I'm just going straight down. I'm looking at number 3. Kind of a similar question. It says Shelby had 16 cookies. 4 of the cookies were broken. What fraction was not broken? So Lily, take it away.
All right, 16 minus 4 is 12. Denominator is 16. 12/16 is not an answer choice. So you would simplify. 12's factors are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. 16 factors are 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. The GCF is 2. You divide 12 divided by 2, which is 6, and 16 divided by 2, which is 8, and you would get B 6/8.
So let's look at this real quick. So when you had all your factors, this is actually an interesting question. So originally you got 12/16, right?
Yes.
And when you didn't see 12/16, you did what I would have done. I would have simplified first, but you could have also cross multiplied. Now, when you listed all your factors out, you actually could have had a GCF of 4, but if you simplified it all the way, is 3/4 an answer choice?
No.
No, so that's kind of weird that they wouldn't do it in simplest form, but what you did was correct. 6/8 would have been your answer there. And honestly, it's probably easier to simplify than it is to multiply all of those numbers. All right, you're crushing it. You got one more, Lily. Oh, and this one, I'm hoping we're getting this one right. I'm going to read number 5. It says, John completed 5/10 of his homework. Bella completed 6/100 of her homework. Chrissy completed 3/10 of her homework. How much homework did they complete all together? All right, Lily.
So you can't add 5/10, 6/100, and 3/10 because they don't look the same. You would make 5/10 50/100, and you would make 3/10 30/100. Then I would add the numbers 50 and 30, which would be 80/100. And then 80/100 plus 6/100 is 86/100. A.
And that would give you A. Awesome job. Could I write that fraction in tenths?
Yes.
How would you write that in tenths?
No, you couldn't.
Couldn't, right? Because I can't take a 0 from up here. But I could write that as a decimal, couldn't I?
Yes.
Just boom, boom, boom. All right, Lily, great job. Before I let you go, I don't know who's going to watch this, but if maybe your classmates will be watching this, is there anything you want to say before you sign off?
Read the questions, work
Nice.
hard.
I like it. Just so you know, when I blow up and get famous, you will forever be the first guest on Virtual Math, which is pretty special.
Oh, yeah.
Awesome. Lily, thank you so much. You're the bomb. See ya.
Yeah.
All right. That was pretty good, I thought. All right, we're moving back in here to our format. We've knocked out 1, we've knocked out 3, we've knocked out 5. Look, if you're somebody who's sitting at home saying, oh, I don't know if I want to go on there and help Mr. Huber, she crushed that. All she did, answer a few questions, solve a few questions, she was out, in and out 5 minutes. So if you're interested, let me know. I'll get you in here. All right, we're going to go back up to number 2. It says Shannon had 16 pieces of candy. 10 pieces of the candy are bubble gum. What fraction of the candy is not bubble gum? So again, you can kind of go with what Lily was saying for those first questions. If you've got 16 pieces of candy, 10 are bubble gum, we're trying to figure out the rest of them. We would do that subtraction. You get 16 minus 10, which would leave you with 6, which becomes your numerator. And your denominator is not going to change. It's still 16. If you're looking at your answer choices, 6/16 is not an answer choice. So you could cross multiply or simplify, which I'd probably go that direction. If you list your factors for 6, you got 1, 2, 3, and 6. For 16, you've got 1, 2, 4, 8, and 16. If you're looking for the GCF, greatest common factor is 2. And if you divide both of those by 2, that would leave you with 3/8, which would be C for number 2. So look, 1, 2, and 3, real similar questions, and they're using basically the same numbers. So I would like a little bit of variety there, but again, I like using the subtraction there instead of drawing a picture. But if you want to split something into 16, be my guest. That would work. It just requires a little bit more work. All right, number 4 says Skylar has 21 Skittles. 6 of them are red and 4 are purple. What fraction of the Skittles are red and purple? Well, you should already know your denominator is going to be 21. And if I'm talking red and purple, I know 6 are red, 4 are purple. 6 plus 4 is going to give me 10. So 10 over 21. And look, guys, if you look at your answer choices, you got it right there. A shows you 10 over 21. If you chose C, you were moving in the right direction, but you did not read that question correctly. All right, so we are halfway down, 5 to go. Number 6, it says, what is the sum of 2/10 and 30 hundredths? Breaking the whiteboard back out. This one goes with another one that Lily had solved for us. 2/10, 30 hundredths. As soon as you see the word sum, you should know you're adding. But I cannot add these because my denominators look different. Now I can make them look the same a couple ways here. I could change my 2/10 to hundredths, but I could also change my 30 hundredths to tenths. I think the best bet here is to look at your answer choices and see which ones you see more tenths or hundredths. In this case, I would change my 2/10 to 20 hundredths just by adding those zeros. And then if I add those two together, I would have 50 hundredths. Looking at your answer choices, it gives you the answer right there with C. Had I made this question, possibly I would have given you an answer choice of 1/2. Where you could have cross-multiplied, you could have simplified. But again, don't make these harder than they have to be. If it gives you the answer, choose it. Number 6 would have been C. Again, you're good on that one as long as you are making sure your denominators look the same. All right. A is a sneaky question. I don't think it's challenging, but I could easily see how people would miss it. It says, what's the difference between 67 hundredths and 2/10? Hopefully you see the word difference and you automatically know I need to be subtracting. So here's my fear. I'm thinking people are going 67 hundredths minus, what is that, 2 or 7? I'm sorry, I might have said 7/10, but I meant 2/10. 2/10. So I'm kind of thinking somebody may have chosen A because they just did 67 minus 2 and got 65. But guys, you can't do that. Denominators are different. You have to make them look the same. In this case, you cannot turn 67 hundredths down to tenths. So we'll take 2/10, turn it into 20 hundredths, and then subtract. And your denominator is going to stay the same. And then you just have to do 67 minus 20, which would be 47, which gives you an answer choice of B, 47 hundredths. A lot of these questions, 5, 6, 7, all very similar questions. As long as you know they have to look the same, you'll get all of those correct. All right, moving on. We're looking at number 8. All right, Ashton was working for 4 4/5 hours, and Christy was working for 4 4/5 hours. How many total hours did they work? Total. Make sure you're adding those bad boys together. So we got two mixed numbers, 4 4/5 plus 4 4/5. Guys, nothing special here. Start with your whole numbers, then move on to your fractions. 4 plus 4 is going to give you 8. And then 4/5 plus 4/5 is going to give you 8/5. Now, if you look at your answer choices, that is not up there. That's when we go through the mental checklist. Do I have an improper fraction? Looking up there, numerator is bigger than the denominator, so I got to fix that. The 8 is fine. I don't need to do anything with the 8. I can go ahead and rewrite the 8 so I don't forget it. But then I got to change that improper to a mixed number. Fraction bar means divide. 8 divided by 5. How many whole times can 5 go into 8? It can go one whole time because 5 times 1 gets me to 5. I needed to get to 8. What's my remainder? It would be 3, which becomes my numerator. Denominator doesn't change. And we're not going to choose 1 3/5. We're not going to choose B as an answer choice. And I bet you somebody did. But if they did, they forgot about that 8. You've got to add those two together. 8 plus 1 gives you 9. 8 would be C, 9 3/5. I'm going to put a star on that one. Normally, parents do an awesome job when they email me saying, hey, if they missed one, they missed this number. Number 8 I'm looking for. I'm looking for number 8 to see if we got that one right. Because we struggled a little bit with that one before we were getting out. All right, we got a couple more here. Number 9, it says Sydney and her friend Danielle went to the salon to get haircuts. Sydney got 4/5 of an inch cut off her hair. Her friend Danielle got 2/5 of an inch cut off. What is the sum of the length of hair that both girls had cut? I think earlier I said the same thing. When you see that word sum, you got to know you are adding. So let's go 4/5 plus 2/5. And that gives me 6/5, not 6/10 because we don't add those denominators. Looking at your answer choices, we do not see 6/5. Mental checklist. Is it improper? Yes, it is. You've got to change that to a mixed number. So if I take 6/5, fraction bar means divided by. How many whole times can 5 go into 6? It goes one whole time because 5 times 1 gets me to 5. I needed to get to 6. What's my remainder? It would be 1. Denominator would not change. That would give me A, 1 1/5. Really, guys, once you got to 6/5, you could have circled A. Because when you got that improper fraction, you know it's going to change to more than 1. If it's going to be a mixed number, it's going to be more than 1 whole. B, C, and D are all less than 1. So it's still good to check it. But logic comes into play on a lot of these questions. Oh, number 10, please. I really want you to look at your work for number 10. And if you have work for A, B, C, and D on your paper, you're awesome. My fear would be that people would just pick the answer choices that use the same numbers, like B, 4, 4, 0, 3, or 4, 4, 3. Just because you see the numbers doesn't mean it's going to add up to the same. So if I added A together and it says 300ths, I would put a 3 and just add 2 zeros. All right, so there's 300. 14 tens, I would put 14 and add 1 0, and then 3 ones. Oh, Lord, Charlie's down there freaking out. All right, so then when I add those together, that gives me 443, which is exactly what I'm looking for. So just because it doesn't say 400s doesn't mean it's not going to be the answer choice. Now, the reason why I say if you got work for all 4 of those, you're awesome. Guys, I make mistakes all the time. You could have very easily done some addition wrong there. So even though A is correct, let's check B. 4 hundreds, 40 tens, and 3 ones. Well, if you add those together, that goes well beyond what we're looking for. We could definitely eliminate B. All right, looking at C. 4 hundreds. Charlie's running up the stairs right now. 4 tens, 13 ones. 3, 5, 4. That one's close, but again, goes beyond what we are looking for. And then letter, I think I just did B. Or no, I just did C. Then we're going to D. You've got 3 hundreds, 14 tens, 13 ones. If I add those together, again, that goes beyond what I'm looking for. So we got the answer on the first try, but still, we're always going to check the other ones just in case we made a mistake. All right, guys, so that's your packet for 1 through 10, day 6. Let me know how you did. Either comment it on the video, send me a message on class tag, send me an email, one of the others, because I can see on class tag, 28 people see the video, 30 people see the video, but I'm only hearing from about 5 or 6 of you. And again, completely optional. So I'm not expecting you to do this stuff, but if you are, awesome. Again, quick reminder, if you're not in the Google Classroom, check your email, go to that link, hop in there for me. Share the video out to any classmates you think that may not be watching it. And if you're interested in joining me on virtual math, send me a message. I got a couple people lined up for this week. Thank you for watching. Appreciate you doing the work. Miss you all. We'll see you tomorrow.